Hello friends and my lovely viewers. Welcome back to the channel of Neon Safe. Today we will rank our Guardians of Bloodline. Let's get started.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. I'm tired of shit.
Our powerful Guardians will be ranked in PvP, PvE, Expedition and Guild Boss, and Eyes of Abyss. So far, none of our Guardians fall below the B tier in either of the sections, and thus this tier list will consist of S+ tiers, S tiers, A tiers, and B tiers. Our S+ tiers, aka Meta Guardians, are the absolute top dogs of Bloodline, and we should without a doubt aim for them. Our S tier Guardians are great options, but not the very best of the best. Some of the S tiers may be worth it, while others may not be worth the effort it takes acquiring them. Our A tiers are kinda meh, and we may not get the results we want in battle. So I suggest we do not aim for Guardians of this rank, to be honest. And the B tier Guardians should not be used at all. If any Guardian of ours land on a B tier in a particular section, we honestly should not use him or her for that type of battle. Now that our tier system is cleared up, let us begin with our Void Guardian. This is a clear meta champion of Bloodline, and I'd go as far as to say he is currently the best tank in the game. He tanks the opponent while buffing his team and debuffing the enemies. Every single skill of his brings a positive impact in battle, and brings us loads of victories. I'd say he particularly shines the brightest in PvP and PvE, while unfortunately he may lack the power to properly thrive in Eyes of Abyss, Expedition, and boss fights. So for PvP and PvE we may place him in the S+ tier. And for Expedition, boss fights, and Eyes of Abyss, we may put him in the A tier due to his shortcomings. As for battlefield placement, he may work the best in either the back row or mid row. This will depend a little on our team comp and traits, so I personally advise us to try him in all 5 battlefield positions, to figure out what works the best for our team. Next in line we have our Ignorath Guardian. Ignorath is also a tank type, but additionally to his protective instinct, he deals AoE damage. This is the second Guardian we got in Bloodline, and he used to be perceived as broken and extremely good. He is still amazing, but we may not consider him for the meta league anymore. Because of the newer Guardians, our Ignorath has dropped down to a S tier in all 4 sections. Personally, I do not think this Guardian is worth our resources, and it may be a wise choice to skip him. Especially since we have the Void Guardian who serves as a much better tank compared to Ignorath, it may be pointless for us to acquire Ignorath. But if we do decide to acquire this Guardian regardless, we may want to try him out in either the front row or mid row of the battlefield. Let us move on to our Queen of Frost. This Guardian focuses on launching crowd controlling effects, and her condense effect can ignore the opponent's immunity to control. Our Queen of Frost is incredibly good at delaying the opponent, and she easily creates an unfair battle. We may place this Guardian into the meta league in both PvP and PvE due to her overall amazing battle contributions. As for the Expeditions and Guild Boss section, she lands on the A tier, which means she may not be our favorite pick for these kinds of challenges. And in the Eyes of Abyss, we unfortunately have to put her in the lowest B tier. Her skills have not proven to help our team much, and she is severely lacking in this section. But overall, apart from this little unlucky detail, she is an extremely good meta option for our team, if we need a Guardian to hinder our opponent team. Next up we have the Guardian called Abyssals. This one is incredibly DPS driven, making her one of the top DPS champs in the game. Besides her damage dealing properties, she also launches debuffs on our enemy, which is very helpful in battle. Even though Abyssals looks like a meta champion to us, she doesn't quite make it to the top 3% anymore. For PvP and PvE, I believe we may place her in the solid S tier. While for Eyes of Abyss, and Expedition or boss fights we may consider her for the A tier. We can still acquire this Guardian if we truly want it, or if we have no other options available, because I honestly think Abyssals is still a great choice for our team. But this is up to our own personal preference and team comps. If we do acquire Abyssals, I suggest trying out either the back row or mid row for her. Let us move on to our newest Guardian of Bloodline called Revenant Nexus. She focuses on dealing AoE damage while launching crowd controlling effects. Nexus comes off as an amazing Guardian who has a lot to contribute within our team, and I think most of us consider her to be another meta champ of Bloodline. But unfortunately, from what we have experienced so far, she doesn't quite meet the criteria needed for the #1 rank. I'd say she reaches the normal S tier in PvP and PvE, while as for the expedition, boss fights, and Eyes of Abyss, she lands on the A tier. I think a lot of us players felt very disappointed with Nexus, since we were expecting something amazing to come. But I personally don't think she is far from reaching the S+ tier though, and thus we may consider her for our team if she fits into our team comp. Anyways, Nexus has proven to statistically function the best in either the back row or mid row of the battlefield. So we may want to try her out in those placements if we acquire this Nexus Guardian. The next Guardian on our list is the one called Voidborn. This is the very first Guardian we received in Bloodline, and he works as an off-tank and sub-DPS. Our Voidborn is the lowest rank amongst our Guardian champions, because he became kind of like a gradual stepping stone or in-between thing for the true Guardians to appear. Bloodline just didn't want to completely shake the current meta, and thus we got our unsuccessful Voidborn. He lands on the A tier in all 4 sections, so it is better for us to steer clear of this one. If by any chance you have this Guardian from before and you still want to keep him in your team, I suggest trying Voidborn out in either the front row or mid row of the battlefield. But if you absolutely hate this Guardian and do not want to use Voidborn for your team anymore, he is an amazing S+ tier in the districts. So we may just abandon him there if we feel like it. Our last Guardian is called Eldrasil. Eldrasil is one of our most recent Guardians, and he acts like a DPS while buffing himself and debuffing the enemy. This is by far one of the most impressive Guardians in the game, since he is equally amazing in all 4 sections. I feel kinda happy that we finally have gotten a Guardian who can manage in other sections apart from PvP and PvE, but this may also create a bigger difference between our champions, hybrids, and Guardians. Anyways, Eldrasil has seriously made some incredible results in battle, and I honestly believe we may put this Guardian into the S+ tier in all 4 sections. This is currently one of the top Guardians of Bloodline, and we definitely should try our very best to acquire him. And if we do acquire Eldrasil, or if we already got him from before, I suggest we try to place him in either the back row or mid row of the battlefield. He statistically has proven to function the best in those placements. That was all our Guardians of Bloodline. How would you rank them, by the way? Would you rank them any different, or do you think this is pretty accurate? We may have different experiences that leads us to believe some Guardians are crappy while others are too strong. And we may not 100% agree on everything, which is completely alright. This tier list is based on my own observations, personal opinions and thoughts, but I truly hope it helps you decide on the right Guardian for your team. If you have any questions or thoughts about this tier list, feel free to comment below. To partake in our giveaways, subscribe to the channel, and you may also leave a like or share the video with your friends if you want to. We highly appreciate your support and contribution. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and have an amazing day. Take care, stay foxy, adios, bye.